my sports betting friends. I am so grateful that you have been able to join us for this live stream, my third live stream of the MLB season, and I want to do more in the future. All right, so yesterday I gave you three free MLB picks. First, I took a shot on the Oakland A's as small home underdogs. They took an early 7-1 lead before finally winning the game 7-5. So that was our first win of the day. Then I also recommended to go with the Rangers against the Padres. This was a toss-up game where the odds were pretty much the same on both sides. And in the end, Texas prevailed 7-0. So this was an easy win. Then we suffered a heartbreaking loss with my third betting tip. Let me show you. So we took no run to be scored in the first inning of the Astros Blue Jays game. Now the top of the first inning went well. Altuve singled, then Bregman flied out to right, and then we benefited from a double play. In the bottom of the first, Bichette was out, Orwitz was out, so we only needed one more out to pick up the win, but then Vladimir Guerrero was walked. He went to second on a wild pitch, and this wild pitch cost us very, very much as Turner followed with a single, so we lost that bet in heartbreaking fashion. All right, so thank you again for joining us. Hello to Rick Bond, who is here. We also have Justin, who says the picks yesterday were fire. Thank you very much. It's really unfortunate that we lost this Astros Blue Jays bet. Okay, so today I have three picks for you, and one of them is a premium pick. Now remember that the very top picks are shared at mjpicks.com if you are willing to invest in your long-term success. Those are paid picks and they are the best of the best that I can provide you. I'll go back to that towards the end of this live stream. So one out of today's three picks will be a premium pick. All right, let's get started. So the first game is the first pick concerns is supported by the hot bat betting system. Let's read the rules together. It says fade the home team if they either won their past two games by scoring 6+ runs in each of those victories, or if they won their past four games by scoring at least 5 runs in each of those victories. And as you can see at the bottom, we got some great profit over many years. So by the way, for those of you who are not aware yet, I developed those systems around 2019 and I used a 7-year data set to develop the rules. So in this 7-year data set, we got close to 82 units of profit from risking just 1 unit per bet. And that was over 1,000 bets. Now, wait a second. So I'll show you which team fits under those rules. Let me share my screen and let's take a look at the Texas Rangers. So today they are at home and they won their last two games by scoring 7 and 11 runs. So basically that fits the criterion that we just saw. And according to the historical data, it is best to fade the home team. In other words, we need to bet the road team. So in the Padres versus Rangers game, if we follow the hot bats system, we need to go with San Diego. But wait. That's not it. As you know, I don't bet my systems blindly. I always need more arguments and I always analyze games deeper. So hold on before making a bet on the Padres here. First, I want to show you the performance of this system since I developed it in 2019. And this is quite important. Let me show it to you. Hopefully it's big enough. Maybe I can zoom to make it even bigger for you guys. All right, right there. All right, so as you can see in green, over those 4 years, we picked up a profit of $3.88 or units. And remember that I always pretend as if I'm betting just $1 per bet. Now, obviously, nobody bets $1. So if you tend to bet 25 bucks, when then simply multiply those numbers by 25 to make it more like your situation. So over 4 years, we got a tiny profit of 3.88 units over 623 bets. So that's a return on investment of 0.6%. But look at how we obtained those gains. In 2019, we racked up massive profits of 37.12 units. But since then, things have been going very badly. So in 2021, 22, 23 combined together, we have lost around 33 units. So I have lost a lot of confidence in this betting system. So overall, it has done an okay job, but nothing great. Now, what about this year? Uh, Again, I'll make it bigger for you. Let's take a look at the hot bats number one system. You can see all the detailed bets from this year. And if you look at the last bet, so right now we stand with a cumulative profit of 1.65 unit over 80 bets. So that's a ROI of 2%. So again, nothing spectacular, but we're still in profit territory, but it's nothing necessarily great. Now let's analyze the starting pitchers. For San Diego, we have a 23-year-old rookie named Adam Mazur, who just earned his first career win. But let's be honest, it was not a pretty one because he gave up 4 earned runs in 5 innings of work. Now, so far in his career this year, he has pitched 22 and one-third inning, and in those 22 innings, he has picked up just 11 strikeouts versus 17 walks. That's really awful. He does not inspire me confidence at all. Well, his ERA this year is 7.25. And what about his whip statistic? The walks plus hits per inning pitch. And remember that the league average is 1.30. If your whip stat is above 1.50, that is considered bad. And in his case, it stands at 1.84. So that is incredibly, incredibly bad. So again, that's not reassuring if you're thinking about betting the Padres. Now on Texas' side, John Gray is set to take the mound. His ERA has been hovering around 4 in each of the past 4 seasons, and his whip stat has been around 1.30. So basically, he's been an average pitcher. He's not above or below average. He's been an average pitcher. Now, if you take a look at his past 3 outings, he has given up 8, 0, and 9 runs. So he's had 2 very ugly starts. But prior to that, he got 12 consecutive starts where he gave up 2 runs or fewer, which is phenomenal. Now, I personally believe he will bounce back today with a good performance. So, for this reason, show you. My final call here is to go against the recommendation of the hot bat system, and that proves to you that I don't bet my systems blindly. I always incorporate my own analysis of the situation. And in this case, I am taking the Rangers money line. So I think Texas will win straight up. One more reason why I like the Rangers here is after losing 6 games in a row, they have now won a couple straight contests. So they won 11-2 against the Orioles in Baltimore And yesterday they won 7-0. So that will certainly boost their confidence. And meanwhile, we are observing the opposite scenario with the Padres uh, because, and let me show it to you, they went through a great stretch right here where they won 9 out of 10 games. But now they have suffered 2 consecutive defeats, so I think their confidence may be shaken, and that's one more reason why I've decided to go with the Rangers for the second straight day. So let's cross our fingers that this bet will hit. All right, so that was pick number one. Let's move on with the second pick. And let's see if we have some comments here. Philippe Boucher says, solid prof. Thank you for joining. Timothy Sackett says 2-1 winning yesterday. We take that every time. Thank you. Florian and Crowded House. Thank you so much for being here. Luc Lefebvre. What are his picks so far? Well, so like I said, I just took the Rangers straight up. That's the only one I've shared so far. And don't worry, I will recap all the picks towards the end. Marianne Woods, hello, my friend, and ARJ. All right, let's move on with the second pick, which will concern the Tampa Bay Rays against the Kansas City Royals. And in this game, what is my pick? I'm taking the Rays plus half a run in after the first 5 innings. So basically, I am betting on Tampa to either be tied with the Royals or to have the lead through the first half of the game. As you can see on your screen, the best line I saw about an hour ago was minus 141 in American format, which is the same as 1.71 if you are more familiar with decimal odds. All right, so in this game, the starters are obviously very critical. I'm focusing on the first 5 innings to make full use of the starters. For Tampa, we have Pepiot starting, and for the Royals, we have Michael Wacha. If you take a look at their respective ERAs, you will be tempted to believe that Waka has done better this year because Waka's ERA is 3.91 versus 4.40 for Pepiot. But as you know, if you've been following me a little bit, I put a lot more trust into the whip statistic. It shows how much traffic there's been on the bases for the starter. And Pepiot has been significantly better than Waka because his whip stat is 1.09, which is great, versus 1.25 for Waka, which is slightly better than average. So I think in this case, the betting public is underrating Pepiot versus Waka. One of the things I like about Pepiot is his strikeout numbers are very good. In fact, in his last outing, he struck out 8 batters for the fourth time this season. Well, he has struck out at least 8 on 4 occasions this season. And overall, he has recorded 83 punchouts in 71 innings of work, which is great. And meanwhile, Waka strikes out batters at less than 1 per inning on average. Now, to me, Pepiot's ERA will certainly go down as the season progresses. His numbers show that he's been a bit unlucky. There has not been a lot of traffic on the bases, but his ERA is still 4.40. I really believe it will go down. Now, I'm aware that this is a bit of a scary bet because Waka has been great lately. He has not surrendered more than 2 runs on 7 straight occasions. But the thing is that he has not had a lot of offensive support. And hopefully that will be the case again today. I am hoping for a low scoring first half, so maybe 1-1, 2-2, or maybe the Rays could hold the lead. Now, since these teams are clearly headed in opposite directions, Since May 26, the Royals hold a 13-21 record after a very fast start to the 2024 campaign. So they are reeling. And meanwhile, the Rays are heating up. In their last 14 games, they have presented a nice 10-4 record. So I think Tampa, through the first 5 innings, will either be tied with the Royals or they will hold the lead. So that is my second pick for today. And now we are only left with my premium pick. And I want to say hello to Ivan Perez and also Manuel Vasquez for joining. And also our friend Bill Stuckey. Thank you guys for being here. All right, the third pick concerns the Detroit Tigers versus Minnesota Twins matchup, and this is where we're going to go with a premium pick that I've shared this morning with all of my paid members. Are you ready to go? Over 4.5 runs to be scored through the first 5 innings. And I don't know if it appears too small on your screen or not, but as you can see, the best available line was minus 114 in American format or 1.88 in decimal odds. All right, but I'll tell you later on in a few minutes what are the minimum acceptable odds so that you can decide if you want to pull the trigger or not. And I also want to explain to you, of course, my reasons for taking this bet. All right, so for the Tigers, we have Kyler Montero making his third MLB appearance. In his first appearance, he gave up 4 runs in 4 1/3 inning. In his second game, the numbers were quite similar. He gave up 5 runs this time, still in 4 1/3 inning. Those games were at home against Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, by the way. So, in other words, this will be his first appearance on the road in his entire MLB career. So, it will be interesting to see how he will fare under such conditions. I'm hoping he will get demolished by the Twins. All right, but the good news, if you are Montero, is that he still struck out 11 batters in those 8 2/3 innings. So that's a good sign for him, but still he posted some fairly bad numbers. And by the way, in AAA with Toledo this year, he posted a 5.03 ERA. So it's really hard to trust this guy to do well today. Now his counterpart, the twin starter, will be David Festa. And do you remember how last week we bet him? We bet him to upset the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he got the win despite a shaky start. So we won our bet, even though Festa was far from being great. In fact, he gave up 5 earned runs, 7 hits, and he only struck out one guy in five. He struck out two guys, sorry, in 5 innings of work. So these two guys have very, very, very little experience in the big leagues. So I expect a lot of fireworks early in the game. In fact, I'm really surprised that the line is not higher than this. So I'm going to take advantage of it. And in case you are wondering, I tell you on occasion what my mathematical model indicates. It basically simulates each game 1 million times by taking a look at the recent stats from the starting lineups from both teams and the starting pitchers. And in this case, my math model believes we hold a 59.5% chance of winning this bet. So what does that mean in terms of odds? That really determines what the minimum acceptable odds are. Because remember that the key thing in the sports betting world is to bet at appropriate odds. For example, in this case, I'm recommending to take over 4.5 runs to be scored in the first half of the Tigers Twins game. But obviously, I don't recommend doing it at any odds. Okay, if the odds were minus 400, that's a very bad bet to make. All right. So in this case, since I believe it holds a 59% chance of winning, and I'm not going to go into the details from a mathematical standpoint, but that means that the minimum acceptable odds in American format are minus 147. So that means if your bookie has a line minus 145, it's still acceptable, but just barely. So hopefully your bookie has a line between minus 114, like I got earlier, and maybe minus 135, minus 140. That would still be a good bet. If you are more familiar with decimal odds, the threshold is 1.68. So basically, you want odds that are bigger than 1.68. For example, it could be 1.72. All right. So let's recap quickly. Pick number one, the Rangers to win straight up against the Padres. Okay, basically, I think we have a huge pitching advantage with John Gray against Adam Mazur, who has looked awful so far in his career, in his short career. Second pick, I'm taking the Rays plus half a run through the first 5 innings in KC. And finally, the premium pick is over 4.5 runs through the first 5 innings. But remember the rules I gave you regarding the minimum acceptable odds, but I don't think it's going to be a problem for you to get advantageous lines. All right, so those are my three official picks. Before you go, I want to tell you something that's quite important and that you might enjoy. Last week, I told you about my bronze, silver, and gold membership levels on YouTube. So on any of my videos or from my channel page, you can click the join button to get more picks from me or more betting advice. Let me show you concretely what you get with each level. So if you take the bronze level, basically you will receive every day my what I call my MLB system picks. So as you know, I have developed 19 winning betting systems, and each day I track which teams fit under those 19 systems. So this is yesterday's post, White Sox against Guardians. The Guardians qualified under two betting strategies at a time, one called the big upset number two, and the other was the cold teams matchup number one. And then I give you some quick comments about how I feel about this potential bet. Sometimes I'm going to tell you straight up, I don't like this pick at all, or maybe I love it, or it's borderline acceptable. So you can see yesterday's post, what it looked like. So by the way, all this bonus content is shown on the community tab, if you are a member, of course. As you can see here, this post is visible to gold, silver, and bronze members. So this is what you get if you sign up for the bronze level, which by the way is only 33 cents per day. So I'm sure everyone can afford it, and it's a good way to start and to help you with your betting decisions. Now, if you sign up for the silver level, what you get is a free MLB pick on each game. Now, obviously, it does not include premium picks. Otherwise, people who sign up for my holy grail, which are my premium picks, would not be very happy because this is much cheaper. So as you can see, I gave several a pick on every game yesterday. Those are free picks that were not necessarily awesome picks, but I still thought they were borderline acceptable, or in some cases they were quite good. All right, and if you get the gold level, well, you get one premium pick every single day. Well, I already gave one for free to you today. And if you are a member of the gold level, you will get another one. And by the way, so for example, yesterday, no run scored in the first inning of the Pirates Cards game, which was a winner. If we go down July 1st, the premium pick I added was no run scored first inning Mets Nationals, which was a win as well. On June 30, No run scored. First inning, Nationals Rays. This was also a winner. On the June 29, under 3.5 runs to be scored in the first 5 innings of the Pirates-Brewers-Braves game at positive odds. This was also a winner despite the positive odds, because if I remember correctly, only 2 runs were scored through 5 innings. June 28th, the extra pick was no run scored. First inning, Rockies White Sox. This was another win. So we have won 5 in a row. And let me show you the last one that we lost. So the premium pick on June 27 was no run scored. First inning, Braves White Sox. This was unbelievable because this game ended 1-0. The game ended 1-0, but the only run was scored in the initial frame. So that was incredibly unlucky. So we are on fire. We've won the past 5 extra premium pick that I share to those who sign up for the gold level on YouTube. And then, of course, you could view it as the platinum level. This is the holy grail. This is if you sign up at mjpicks.com to get all of my premium picks. So if you go to mjpicks.com, if you are already a member, maybe you have signed up already under the free plan, then you would need to log in here, or you can sign up in 2 minutes. And by the way, in case you are wondering, if you take you can choose between a weekly or a monthly plan. If you go weekly and you take one sport, which could be baseball, well, it's going to cost you $3 per day. And you can expect to receive an average of 3 to 4 baseball premium picks per day. So that's an average, of course. Sometimes you'll get 2, maybe you'll get 5 on other days. So obviously it varies. And you get all of those picks directly in your email and also via SMS if you leave your phone number when you sign up. All right, so that will be it for today. So I gave you 3 picks. I hope you enjoyed today's live stream. And by the way, I am very likely to do another live stream tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So thank you, everyone. Kyle Black, you're the man, MJ. There is no other I trust more than you. Great work, sir. Well, thank you so much, Kyle, for showing up for this live stream, and I appreciate your comment a lot. Danny Ole is also here. Thank you very much. And Matthew Hovanes. All right. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And I'll be there tomorrow for more MLB picks. It's not 100% official that I'll do a live stream tomorrow, but I am leaning towards doing one again at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Otherwise, you will get a pre-recorded video with some picks. So don't worry, I'll be there tomorrow for some betting tips for you, because the number one goal of the Professor MJ brand is very simple: to grow your bankroll. I'm Professor MJ from Quebec City in Canada. See you guys.